Salvete. Are you looking for a book?
Claudius Tranquillus. He's dead.
Me? I was just passing by. Unfortunately, I could not save this old man.
You're not fooling anyone. You murdered Tranquillus.
What possible motive could I have? Your accusation is ridiculous. With what? Look, I'd love to stay and chat with you, but I have duties elsewhere. Now that this Egypt matter seems settled, it is time for us to pack up. See you in Rome.
Away, legate! Your home welcomes you and both of your victorious legions. Death comes to us all eventually. All we can do is delay it. Sometimes not even that is possible. I'm sure you have a lot of things to discuss before you disband. Let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Last time we stood here with a legion, we had Lucullus with us. I know he was your Patronus, but the man was like a father to me. I know that. It will feel good, though. I hate to be back in this shithole of shit. To you, probably. You're back home as a victorious commander, and I'm back home as... not myself. I don't know yet. There's a lot I need to take care of. Aww, that warms my cold black heart. I'm not really sure about that. We have denied Lurko the control of Egypt, but we also made him look like a hero. Let us hope you're right, for everyone's sake. It's tempting. I can't say it wouldn't be nice to have a home here again. With you. Let me try to clean out some of the skeletons in my closet first. Then, if everything works out somehow, we can talk about this again.
Recent events are making me think about the way we're approaching our long-term problems. No matter what we do, our opponent seems to retain the upper hand. This is the second time he's accomplished the same trick. I think we now know the way he plays the game. We're clearly not playing by the same rules. It's for this reason that the game is not fair. We stop playing fair. Consider the Rubicon. No legatus is allowed to keep their command inside the Pomerium. The Legion shall always disband here, beyond these predefined borders. So it is written, so it shall be done. It doesn't matter why the rule exists. All that matters is that everyone obeys it. And because everyone obeys it, it exists. That makes us predictable. This is how Lurko always wins. He knows what our possible moves are, so he prepares himself accordingly. He plans for both outcomes and controls the result either way. Now, consider the results of a commander crossing the Rubicon with his legion, ignoring the ancient law and the tradition. Certainly not. I was simply using as an example the absurdity of the notion, and the fact that Rome would be helpless against such a legion were it to just march through. Lurco exploits our adherence to established norms and patterns. As long as we're playing the same game, he wins. It is an idea worth considering, but we should be careful about it, lest we become predictable in our rule-breaking. Egypt represents a clear victory. With Cleopatra out of the picture, the Senate can surely be persuaded to grant rulership of the area to you. I do think he will try to present our victory as his, thereby solidifying his claim for consulship. It is unlikely they would let him have Egypt, though. My frail bones are in dire need of warm water and a well-executed massage. But I also have an interesting meeting to attend. A fine, benign lie. The weather in Egypt did not really agree with me, I'm afraid. And coming back to this humidity is not helping either. When your body starts to protest against all climates, it may be trying to tell you something. You're old. Go to the bathhouse. I'll be back as soon as I finish my business.
Is it time? Of course, what's not to like? We are the scourge of Egypt. We have slain all of our foes. They shall sing our names for years to come. I know you are not entirely happy about being saved by Lurco. Do not worry, though. Vengeance will be ours. Patience is the sharpest weapon of a hunter. Strike when the time is ripe. I've told you before, it is this idleness that bothers me. Can't we just quickly go in? I have things to do. I do have some personal matters to attend to. I'll take it easy. This campaign made me realize there is a lot to learn. And while Sinaros is a great magister, it is impossible for him to teach me everything. He said if he teaches me how to fish, my problems will be solved. He is wise and formidable. It is not easy to fight for so long and still be alive. I shall listen to every single word of his.
I cannot go back to guarding your villa. There is important thing I must do. Sorry. I need to find man who killed my sister, Silvius. Habron said he is important member of Collegium Bacchus. If he is not here, he has cause to return at least. And when he does, I will be waiting. I am not sure yet. I will see what he does when he is found. It's best to not involve you, but thank you for offering. I will.
Let's get this over with. Where to even start? I served with Lucullus for the majority of my life. In a way, he turned me into the man I am today. In return, I caused his death. He would have been alive today if we hadn't delayed our departure for the sake of fixing my mistakes. Nothing but a disappointment. It's a cycle, isn't it? I remember my father once telling me good guys never win. Never wanted to believe that. But the cycle never breaks. And we are no longer good guys. After all, I don't think there's a lot of difference between us and people like Lurko. He believes what he is doing is just, same as we do. It is the way we go about it that matters. Probably, but not for the reasons you might think. You think I'll go there and drink myself into a torpor? Let's just say I have an outstanding debt. The kind you can't pay back with denarii. It certainly ended better than it started. It's a shame the Queen did not survive. Nevertheless, I wish we were able to save Lucullus. If only we had departed a day earlier. You're probably right. Still, that makes me wonder. There's something I need to handle now that we're back. I may call on you if I need your help, but hopefully it won't come to that.
Time to disband, Legate? You will always be a warrior at heart. Now it's time to be a citizen.
Today's augury casts doubt and confusion. I bring forth the following relatio, the result of which is to be decided per discretionem no later than the sun disappears beyond the horizon.
Yes. Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus. A dangerous man. Full of political ambition. But also an accomplished commander. Though they are both populares, he sees Vitellius Lurco as a natural opponent. Useful for us.
Today's relatio presented itself and is thus natural. There shall be an assignment of territory and responsibility.
Thanks to you, Egypt is presently without a ruler. With the unfortunate demise of the proconsul of Africa, there's an obvious question of control. Perhaps. Many people underestimate her line, though. It is tempting to try and domesticate a snake. Forgive me. That was a poorly thought-out metaphor. To be honest, the populares are impressed. To them, leaving Egypt in the hands of a potentially dangerous queen seemed like a terrible strategy. And your idea of creating a legion right there out of the local population was a deciding factor. It also appears like you were a bit in over your head, and Vitellius Lurco had to move in and save you. That action looks equally unorthodox and possibly more daring and selfless. No matter what, I expect Vitellius Lurco to make a play for proconsulship. Whether his rhetoric holds sway depends largely on you.
Silence! Let only those who are of consequence speak. The appointment of a proconsul is to be decided. The issue is of the utmost importance, and the candidate, I believe, is obvious. The only question is, does the conqueror of Egypt wish to shoulder this responsibility?
Indeed. Doesn't conquest imply a decisive victory? I believe it was thanks to Vitellius Lurco that you were victorious. Am I wrong?
There is no need to thank me. We all fight and die in the name of Rome. Legatus is correct, though. I cannot request such an important station.
That is an excellent idea. Surely the Legatus is more than capable of making use of your combined wisdom, Lurco.
Our families are joined, of course, but...
I believe this discussion is concluded, then.
Indeed, it seems we have only one real candidate here. The decision is made. All hail the new proconsul of Africa and his victorious legions!
Congratulations. You are proconsul of Africa. I hope you know what you're doing. A foe you can trust is better than a friend you can't.
Salve. I see you're on your way out. Glad I caught you. In this case, it is I who is here to help you. Or, rather, your friend. Julia Callida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, Your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
Did you hear? We have taken control of Egypt. I do house calls in the evening. Long overdue.
Now, if the bread continues to be stale, we have only our own bakers to blame.
Salve, Legate. Welcome back. Is there anything you need?
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitellius Lurco's ships.
How did they manage to take the city?
The ships arrived just in the nick of time. Apparently the legions were nearly routed.
You look like you've been sleeping poorly. Is something wrong?
It's kind of you to ask. My husband has fallen ill.
That's right, you told me last time we met. Has he not improved?
He's only got worse. We had to leave him with the Medici at the clinic.
I'm so sorry. I will pray for him at the Temple of Apollo Medicus tonight.
Finally! Mecasta! I was starting to think you wouldn't come.
There he is, the man of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow. It's a long story. What do you want to know? Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Not by choice. But I was pretty, I guess. And that represented a political opportunity for my father. He never liked the fact that I was interested in men's things. He thought marriage would, in his words, tame me. As if I'm a wild animal needing to be domesticated. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Julia, the husband killer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very heated. I pushed him. I wish I could tell you he died for a better reason. That he was a criminal, or that it was some grand conspiracy, or even just that he was hitting me. But his cruelty was of a much more insidious sort. And to the people of Rome, his was a perfectly acceptable way to treat his wife. This whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. I didn't even expect that kind of surprise.
That's a common characteristic of surprises.
Rome. Look. I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but... pretty much. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Cicero to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult. I didn't say that. I welcome the challenge, but you will owe me a great deal.
What?
True. Of course, it doesn't matter legally if you're married or not. But correct me if I'm wrong, it's Callida's family who stands as her accusers. The reason for their outrage doesn't seem to be the untimely death of her late husband, but her refusal to remarry to someone equally wealthy and powerful. If you get married to each other, though, well, you are certainly wealthy, and your political star is clearly rising.
This is not the way I imagined you'd ask the question, but, of course I want this.
An unexpected solution to the problem. Congratulations. Have a happy marriage.